Have you ever wanted to speak or write English but just couldn't find the right words? Have you ever felt frustrated by using simple sentences over and over again? Or maybe you have even tried using fancy long sentences, but they just sound awkward and wrong somehow. Well, today I am here to tell you that all you need might be 3 small words: where, when, and why. Today we will learn how to use where, when, and why to make our sentences more clear and natural. And if you stick around until the end, I will show you a quick trick to avoid a very common mistake. Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm a teacher from an English learning platform, and today we're going to talk about relative adverbs. These are words like where, when, and why that help us connect ideas and add details to sentences. They make our speaking and writing clearer, smoother, and more natural. But before we get into it, please subscribe so you never miss out on our free lessons. Okay, let's jump into it with a simple example. Let's imagine you are talking to someone about your hometown. You could say, "My hometown is beautiful," or "My hometown has a river and nice parks." Both sentences are correct, but notice how the second sentence is much more interesting and detailed, right? It feels like you're actually there, that is, because we have added extra information with and now we can hear the details. But there is a better way to do this. What if we combine these two sentences using where? My hometown is the place where I spent my childhood. Do you see the difference? The second option sounds more advanced and natural, and that's what we want, right? Speak and write English naturally and smoothly. So let's talk about what these special words are and how to use them. First, let's define relative adverbs. A relative adverb is a word that introduces a dependent clause and connects it to a noun. It tells us where, when, or why something happens. And now let's take a closer look at each one with examples. Part 1. Where. Let's start with where. We use where to talk about a place or location. For example, if we continue talking about our hometown, we could say, "This is the house where I grew up." The restaurant where we met is closed now. In both cases, where connects the noun with extra information about the place. It's like saying, "This is the house. I grew up in this house." We can use where to ask questions, too. Instead of, "Is there a good restaurant near here?" you can say, "Is there a good restaurant where you can eat pasta?" Again, we're asking about a place. By the way, if you want to download the full res slides of this lesson and all our other videos, go to our website and click download. It's totally free. Part 2. WHEN. Next is when. As you probably guessed, when is used to talk about time, days, years, or moments. Going back to our hometown example, we could say, "I remember the day when we first met." That was the moment when everything changed. Here, when helps connect time with the action that happened during that time, we can also use when to ask questions. Instead of "What day did you arrive?" we can say, "What time did you arrive?" Part 3. Why. Now let's look at why. Why gives a reason for something. "I don't know the reason why she left early." You can also say, "I don't know why she left early." But the version with reason why is more formal and often used in writing. Be careful not to say the reason why is because that's too much. Just say the reason why, or because, but not both. Before we move on, let's practice with some exercises. First, fill in the blank with the correct relative adverb, and check your answers below. 1. This is the park _ we used to play. I remember the year _ I moved to this city. 3. She didn't explain the reason _ she was crying. Now it's time to put it all together with some more advanced examples. Imagine you are talking to a friend about your weekend plans. How would you describe the place where you are going? Let's try. "There is a new Italian restaurant where they serve delicious pizza. I'm going to a music festival when a famous band will play. Can you tell me the reason why you don't like pizza?" When we use relative adverbs, we need to make sure our verbs agree in tense. Let me show you an example. Yesterday I visited the city where everything was modern. Okay, the verb is simple past, and it agrees with the relative adverb where, which also talks about past time. However, we can't say yesterday I visited the city where everything were modern, or is plural and doesn't agree with the singular verb was. But what if we change the verb to present tense? Today I visited the city where everything is modern. Now the verb is simple present and it agrees with the relative adverb which talks about the present. So to sum up, if the verb in our main clause is simple past, we use the relative adverbs where, when, or why. If the verb is present tense, we use the relative adverbs where, when, or why. If the verb is future tense, we use the relative adverbs where, when, or why. Easy, right? Let's practice a few more sentences together. Write the correct relative adverb in the blank. I will never forget the day underscore we won the championship. Doesn't know the reason underscore she broke up with him. Is there a good restaurant nearby? Underscore you can eat seafood. Okay, now let's look at some common mistakes and how to avoid them. First, students sometimes use which or that instead of where, when, or why. For example, that's the place which I met her. That's the place where I met her. We use which to talk about things, people, or ideas. That can be used to talk about things, people, or ideas. Where is used to talk about places. Remember, we want to use the correct relative adverb for the correct meaning. Another thing to watch out for is the article a or the. For example, there is a reason why cats purr. Some students might think that we should use a reason which cats purr or even a reason that cats purr. But this is incorrect. Why is a relative adverb, not a pronoun, so we don't need to add an article before it. Finally, let's look at another place where students often make mistakes. When we talk about something that happened in the past, we often use when or where. But if we want to add more information about the time that something happened, we need to be careful. Instead of saying when I went to Japan, which was in 2015, we should say when I went to Japan in 2015 or when I went to Japan, which was in 2015. The first one is more natural because it talks about one action happening before another action. The second one is grammatically correct, but it sounds more formal. All right, now it's time for some independent practice. Look at these sentences. Choose the best option to complete each one. 1. The bookstore where I bought this book is on Elm Street. The bookstore which I bought this book is on Elm Street. The bookstore that I bought this book is on Elm Street. 2. He didn't tell me the reason why he was late. He didn't tell me the reason when he was late. He didn't tell me the reason that he was late. 3. When I was young, I dreamed of traveling the world. When I was young, I dreamed of traveling the world. When I was young. All right, take your time and send your answers to us. Also, let us know in the comments if you have any questions, or if you would like us to make a follow-up lesson. Finally, please remember to hit the like button and share this video with your friends. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.